Good morning, everyone. It is with great pleasure. I, on behalf of the Science City, Department of Higher Education, Government of Tamil Nadu, and Indian National Young Academy of Sciences, New Delhi, welcome you all to the today's interactive meet on research and career opportunities for civil engineering graduates. Now, I invite Mrs. S. Hema, Senior Scientific Officer, Science City, Chennai, to deliver the welcome address. Ma'am, please.
Good morning to all. On behalf of Science City and Indian National Young Academy of Sciences, New Delhi, I welcome you all. Science City, in coordination with the Indian National Young Academy of Sciences, is conducting today's program through webinar entitled Research and Career Opportunities for Civil Engineering Graduates for the benefit of civil engineering students from the state of Tamil Nadu and also other states of India. Before we start the program, I would like to tell you a few words about the Science City. Science City is an autonomous organization established in 1998 under the Department of Higher Education, Government of Tamil Nadu, for the objective of popularization of science and technology to the student community and general public, and it is headed by Thiru U. Sahayam IAS, Vice Chairman of Science City. Science City organizes workshops, seminars, summer training programs in the disciplines of physics, chemistry, biology, mathematics, and biotechnology. Science City organizes programs for young minds, that is, school students studying in classes from 8th standard to 12th standard in government-aided schools and Chennai schools, formerly known as corporation schools. We conducting programs like recent developments in science, engineering, and technology, science demonstrations, and career guidance in science, engineering, and technology, and research programs. Science City organizes state-level summer training programs in the discipline of physics, chemistry, biology, and mathematics for the benefit of students pursuing post-graduation in government and government-aided colleges. All these above programs, Science City arranged eminent scientists as a resource person in the respective fields. Science City recognizes and honors achievement of senior-most scientists for their research contribution, which are useful to the society, by awarding Tamil Nadu Lifetime Achievement Award for scientists for above the age of 60. Science City recognizes and motivates the scientists in the research contribution, which are useful to the society, by awarding Tamil Nadu Senior Scientist Awards and Tamil Nadu Young Scientist Awards for the age above 45 and less than 60 years and up to 45 years respectively. The above awards are presented in various disciplines such as agricultural sciences, physical sciences, chemical sciences, mathematical sciences, engineering and technology, life sciences, environmental sciences, Indian medical sciences, English medical sciences, that is allopathy medicines, social sciences, traditional science of Tamil Nadu, and veterinary sciences. Science City organizes state-level Chennai Science Festival every year in its campus. In this exhibition, students studying from 8th standard to college and university level are actively participating and showcase their science models. Scientists contribute a lot towards the development of society and the nation. They are expected to act as an advisor to the government in science and technology related matters such as research guides, counselors to students community, general public, district administration and government during an emergency, and are also expected to contribute their might in several contexts. Therefore, under this pretext, Science City has decided to register or collect a database containing details of eminent scientists, not only from Tamil Nadu, but also those scientists having Tamil Nadu as their origin, but living in different countries. It is strongly hoped that this directory would be very useful to the students community and also to the people at large and to the government as well. In this Tamil Nadu Scientist Directory, I welcome all the scientists directly register their form and submit to Science City through Science City websites www.sciencecitychennai.in, and also I request please visit our website after July 15th, 2020, because the website reconstruction work is going on. Science City is yet to release Engum Arrivial Science magazine in Tamil language for the benefit of school students. particularly government school students. I invite students, teachers, and scientists, those who write science-based articles in Tamil on this contest. Please write and send it to Science City mail, secitchennai@gmail.com. I welcome all the participants on behalf of Science City and Indian National Young Academy of Sciences. I welcome our most respected Professor Dr. M. SEKAR, former Dean, College of Engineering, Anna University, who is currently working as a Honorary Professor, Anna University. He has been supporting and sharing his knowledge to Science City for the past 15 years. Dr. M. SEKAR is the anchor of today's program, and also he will be discussing about general prospects. Once again, I welcome you, sir. I welcome Dr. K.P. JAYA, Director for Research, Anna University, Chennai. Today, she will be discussing about higher studies and research. Once again, I welcome you, ma'am. I welcome Dr. KALAISELVAN, Additional Director, Center for University Industry Collaboration, Anna University, Chennai. He will be discussing about campus placements and beyond. Once again, I welcome you, sir. I welcome Dr. V. Rajendran, Secretary, Association of Consulting Civil Engineers, Director of Hitech Civil Engineering Services, Chennai, and Teaching Faculty of Meenakshi College of Engineering, Chennai. He will be discussing about industry prospects. Once again, I welcome you, sir. I welcome the multi-talented engineer B. Ravichandran. He will be discussing about entrepreneurship in civil engineering. Once again, I welcome you, sir. Last but not the least, the young Indian scientist Dr. M. Muthamilarasan is the coordinator of the program, active member of Indian National Young Academy of Sciences, New Delhi, and Assistant Professor, School of Life Sciences, University of Hyderabad, Telangana. I request Dr. Muthamilarasan to open the session and set the stage, and also I request him to tell a few words about the Indian National Young Academy of Sciences before you start the program. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. As ma'am has mentioned, we have organized 7 webinars on contemporary topics for the students of schools, colleges, general public, and teachers. This is the 8th webinar being organized jointly by Science City Chennai and INEAS New Delhi. INEAS, or Indian National Young Academy of Sciences, is the only established and recognized Young Science Academy of India. At present, it has got 90 plus members from different disciplines, and these young bright minds were selected through a stringent 3-tier selection procedure. INEAS primarily operates with the vision of promoting science education and outreach, networking among young scientists, developing or supporting career and independence among the young scientists, engaging interdisciplinary and intergenerational dialogues on scientific issues, building science capacity in the country, and collaborating with other young academies around the world. In line with this, we conduct several activities including outreach, training, community service, publications, policy, and liaising. So this is our recent program, and for this program, we have 5 eminent panelists who are here to share their thoughts and expertise in different aspects of civil engineering with relevance to career and research. The entire session will be moderated by Professor M. SEKAR, as ma'am has mentioned, and we will be having the question and answer session at the end. Therefore, the participants may please post their questions through the chat box, which will be addressed by the speakers at the end of their talks. With this, I would like to invite Professor M. SEKAR to take over the session. He is currently a honorary professor at Anna University. Previously, he held the post of Dean of College of Engineering, Guindy, for several years. He was graduated from the same college in 1976, and he did his master's and doctoral programs also from the same institute. He has 45 years of teaching experience in civil engineering. He has held various administrative positions in Anna University, including the member of convener committee to carry out the responsibilities of Vice Chancellor. It's our privilege to have him among us today to share the opening remarks and give a brief about the general prospects of civil engineering. Sir, please.
Good morning and welcome to this session of webinar on which we are going to see the research and career opportunities for the civil engineering graduates in various portfolios. And accordingly, I am joined by very learned and experienced colleagues of mine and also good friends of mine here to talk to the people. We actually expected two groups of students, that is those who aspire to take the engineering degree and also those who are pursuing the civil engineering degree. But I heard from the organizers that the people who are taking up the engineering degree are only minimum in number. Possibly the thinking that the civil engineering is not that much of attractive. But that's where we come into picture to say what exactly lies there for the civil engineers and the outside world. So I'll not be going too much on explaining civil engineers because many of them are civil engineers only here. But we'll have to anyway say the importance and the greatness of the civil engineering. That's what I'll be covering. I'll also be briefly telling about the various places where, because individually this is going to be handled by each of my colleagues here. But overall picture, I'm just going to give how the civil engineers are prospecting in the outside world. So, you know very well that we take up a profession mainly for livelihood. But that's not alone sufficient, as you all know. We have to have also the pride in our profession. So, we have to admit that we are lucky that we have got the education, higher education in this country. And also we are lucky also to pursue an higher education in engineering degree. Because an engineering profession gives not only the livelihood, but also, as you can see, the pride in your profession. This is something which you cannot get in any other profession that you get in this profession. This is what I want to highlight. Even the people who are a few school students who may be watching, that is what is a very important thing that you have to take in mind here when you are pursuing your higher education next. So the profession which gives you the pride, that is what is most important here. That is what I would like to say. Now I'll be sharing my screen also here along with my talk to discuss about the points that we want to hear. I'll be sharing the screen now. As you see, it is born out of civilization. Yes, when you had Mohenjo-daro and Harappa, you just see what you dig out is mainly giving out the civil engineering knowledge of the people at that time. So that's why I say it is born out of civilization. But you will see, though it is born out of civilization, it has been evolved all the times to create and sustain civilization. Civilization is now sustained, if I can really say, only because of civil engineering. Why I am saying this? You can see in the next slide. Now, what is a civilized society? A civilized society should have a proper shelter, yes. Should have enough water and food, yes. Should have means for clean air and environment, that's correct. Should have means for livelihood, yeah, that's true. Should have means for mobility, yeah, very much we need that. Should have means for growth and prosperity in our life. Now you see all these are ensured by our career, namely the civil engineering. That is why I call it as it creates and sustains civilization. Now, what is the greatness of civil engineering? You can just see, I ought to say, I tell all my students repeatedly, that is of all the branches, the only branch that touches every life of common man, everyone, is rich or poor, educated or illiterate, is civil engineering. It is the oldest, but not only because of that, it is the basic need for every other engineering discipline to be built on. That is why it is rightly called as mother of all civil engineering, all even engineering branches. So that is why I say the greatness lies with civil engineering. Never to say, you can just see all the wonders of the world, ancient or modern, are only monuments and structures built out of civil engineering knowledge that many of you are going to possess, and some of you are already possessing. You are going to show to the outside world. In our country, I'm just showing a few structures because, as you all, many of you are civil engineers. I don't want to show again the greatness of civil engineering through structures. But of the recent times, we have built a few structures which I would like to go and then show you before going into the various details of opportunities available. Now this, some of you may know, some of you may travel, which I am yet to travel, the Konkan Railway. One has to travel in this line to see the engineering marvels that have been built. That have been built by the civil engineers. It is one thing of any civil engineer or any person, any national of this country should go through this route to really appreciate the civil engineering marvel. Now this one, many of you think only as a bridge, but actually what's happening here is it's an aqueduct, meaning that it's carrying water on the top, at the bottom stream is flowing. This aqueduct is a very unique structure. Roman aqueducts is very popular all over the world, but unfortunately this one is not known much, many of you. This is available in Roorkee. So when I just visited it for some of my summer programs, really I was astonished to see this beautiful structure. It has been built in, you believe it or not, 1846. From 1846, a masonry structure is built. Even today, you don't see even a scratch on this particular structure. That is the greatness of this structure available near Roorkee. And this one, I think many of you now immediately able to recognize the recent engineering marvel that has been done by the great engineering giants L&T there in Ahmedabad, Gujarat, where their Patel, the statue of Patel has been built, such a very large height, standing near that river. You can just see the magnificent look of this particular statue. It is not easy. It is not very easy to build such a structure, freestanding structure there. And of course, in many of our cities are experiencing this, and we are enjoying the facility. And many of the cities are now vying with each other to get this facility there. As this particular metro rail connection or metro rail facility is a great, again, engineering marvel, because you got to not only go under the earth and then go dig and then provide the facility, and also you go above and then provide the facility. And this intersection, as you can see, I also see for mobility, has been designed, conceived and built by the civil engineers. This is one very great location in our Chennai city. And as you see here, I just wanted to put this very mainly because not only the road mobility intersection is available here, there are two great lines of metro lines going around this. I just really wondered how these people are going to have metro in this particular crisscrossing junction. But they have achieved that, one going above the other. And then that is what I just want to say, that we always have pride. The civil engineers have pride, not only in creating the structures, but also the helping the common man and helping the society. This is where I just want to say the greatness of civil engineering. Now, job opportunities, if you just try to see, everywhere it is there. I can just say it is everywhere, because you name it, there you have it for a work for a civil engineer. Universities or elsewhere, government or private, public sector or private sector, central government or state government, within the state or outside the state. But one thing I just want to tell all of you is that you must be ready to work anywhere. Please take it in mind. There should not be a restraint on your mind that I can work only near my place or only near my house. This is where, ultimately our job opportunities shrink. I just want to stress it again and again. People may complain of reduced or shrunk job opportunities. It is only because of their mindset to have a narrow look on the places where they want to see. So I just want to tell you all people, please have an open mind, go serve anywhere. Then naturally you get the real pride and satisfaction at the end of your career. We all vouch for that. The experts sitting here, we all vouch for that particular thing. So whether you want a job within India or abroad, yeah, you have it. You want to go for civil sector, IT sector, yeah, you will be surprised why I'm telling IT sector. I just want to tell you a secret. The famous Carnegie Mellon University Computer Science Department was headed by one of the civil engineering graduate. Will you believe it? Yes, civil engineers can do everything. That's what I'm just telling. So IT industry also, many of the people move to IT industry and then they're flourishing on that sector also. So you've got opportunities everywhere. Just because of studying civil engineering, it's not going to be contained in only particular area. Whether you want to have a subordinate employment working under somebody or self-employment, you want to give employment to thousands of people. Yes, you can do that. That's where here the opportunity is there with the civil engineering degree. Where you want to do it, the civil services, yes, you want to become an IAS officer, IPS officer, yeah, there is a way. Or you want to join military, army, yes, many of my students have joined the army and they are now walking with pride, with very, very straight to this thing in the country now. So that is what I'm just saying. You have got everywhere you can join and shine. And of course, I have to touch my career, which is called teaching career. And many people may not like it, obviously, because they think that it is not paying well, it is not very interesting. But it is upon us to make it interesting. And not paying well is not correct, because the entry level itself, we are able to get nearly 6 lakhs per annum salary nowadays. And when the people retire, you will not believe they are getting something like 30 lakhs per annum, more than 30 lakhs per annum from a teaching career, which is also very good. And you got a very respectable profession that you have in front of you. But for this, there are a few things which you have to keep in mind, because your rising or your growth in your teaching career depends on you and yourself only, because you have to have an ME Tech from a reputed institution. You pursue a PhD in an emerging area, they all must. So if you think teaching is a career which you can take up, which is very good also, please work for it from the beginning itself. And you would have develop a passion for teaching and research. We people sitting here, some of us here, are really very happy and satisfied only because we had the passion for teaching and research, and we really, I have to say, succeeded in our profession of teaching here because of that. And you have a research flavor. What is that research flavor is that during the student days itself, please do something on participating in conferences, writing something on current topics, some small projects funded by Science City is funding some projects and other agencies. Take up them. They're getting the money. You're getting the money from them for doing small projects. Participate in a number of competitions in other colleges and try to gain your knowledge. And also join after your career. I mean, after your studies, you try to join immediately for some research or project assistantships. That is going to make you to go for a good teaching career. And as a teacher, please take it from me, you will have to have a lifelong learning. That is what is actually making you big. And continuing education is very much important. So with this, I really say, those people really want to come to teaching also, please come. Don't be running away from a teaching. Don't hate this teaching profession. We are all very happy and proud. We are sitting here in front of you only because we teach and taken the teaching profession and then respected by our students. That's what I will try to say here. And for teaching, as we have said, that you require higher education. So our next talk will only be on how to pursue your higher education, where and how, in what manner, and also how to go for your research career or research program itself will be done by our Professor JAYA. So she will be joining me. I'll briefly introduce her. She is currently the Professor of Structural Engineering at Anna University. She is also the Director for Center for Research at Anna University. She had her BE and ME from Kerala University, and she obtained her PhD from IIT Madras on Earthquake Engineering. And she has totally 19 years of teaching and research experience, including our 17 years experience here in our Anna University. She has guided more than 15 PhD scholars, and she is a very great researcher here in our midst. Not only that, he is a great consultant doing lots of extensional activities. This is one thing I forgot to tell you. In teaching career, this is also important. You have to serve to the other people also, as the other extensional activities also you should enter. And then that really satisfies your career, not only classroom teaching. This is, I can say, JAYA, I can vouch JAYA. He is very good at this extensional activities also. So I'll request JAYA to now take over and then present the research opportunities or how to pursue your research, and after that what we are going to do. JAYA, please.
Good morning to one and all the speakers. Is it audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. So I welcome all the participants for this webinar program and extend my sincere thanks to the organizers, especially to Professor SEKAR. He only approached me and inquired, JAYA, are you willing to give a speech on research progress or opportunities for research? Of course, it's my passion, so I agreed for that. Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. And as mentioned by Professor SEKAR, I am taking care of Center for Research at Anna University, which cater the needs of around 13,000 research scholars and 6,000 supervisors all across Tamil Nadu. And out of these 13,000, thousands are from civil engineering field. I have to mention very specifically, out of 13,000, only 1,000 scholars are from civil engineering. We have to improve ourselves in the field of civil engineering. And of course, being the biggest, one of the biggest universities in India, we are doing very well, but we have to do something more in publications of internal papers and all those things. And here today, my pleasant duty is to give some brief about higher education's opportunity for higher education and research. Yes, there are a lot of things to tell, but there is a constraint on time. So I think I'll take more than 10 minutes or 12 minutes. Kindly bear with me, and I'll try to brief very quickly and simply. And I'll share my slides. Starting from this end, sorry. Yeah, you can see this picture. This is, sorry. And I'm Jaya from Anna University. And as mentioned by Hema, I have given my email ID also. If somebody want to contact me, I have provided my email ID. And you can see the picture on the right side. So it looks so nice, isn't it? It's a very ancient step well. You can see this is a water storage system. It's a step well. It's constructed in the year of 1927. It is available in Jaipur. And see, look at the beauty and knowledge of our ancestors. They were pursuing civil engineering with a passion, I think. You can see a lot of remainings of their culture and their civilizations. As Professor SEKAR mentioned, we are the supporters for the society, and it's nothing great. There is a saying that we are not doing anything extra other than which is available in our what I can say, epics like Mahabharata, Quran, and Bible. It's everything is there. Then what is research? Research is nothing but we are reinventing what is available in what is prescribed and what is described in all these what I can say, very ancient people, how they have developed the society. It's already there. We have to do reinvent and research for the new findings. That's all. Which is available. We have to do in very specifically, ethically, and very detailed way. That is what is research. Now we have to explore what is that. And next, I have given what is the peculiarity of this particular structure. It's a Chandbarai, an ancient engineering marvel. You just see the depth. It is around 1,000 feet deep. It is considered it's a 10th century. And now comes to the point, like who can be the civil engineer? What is the prerequisite for a civil engineer? It is nothing great. Look at this picture. You should have common sense. Strong common sense is required. And you just see we should have the positive attitude to pursue whatever be the work we are doing, we should do with a positive attitude. Now look at the next thing. We should have proper vision, how it has to come out. And we should be honest and should have dedication. Without that's all. We are vouching for whatever be the structural engineers doing the design, and we are vouching for it. We should be honest and we should dedicate enough to vouch for it. And we should follow ethics. Definitely we should follow ethics. It's life of whatever be the structure we are creating. If it fails, it's life of many. So we should follow ethics and management skills and teamwork. It's very important in civil engineering. For a computer engineer with this system, he can do many wonders. But without a management skill and teamwork, civil engineer cannot do anything. We need a lot of people supporting hands amongst us. And we should have the courage to face the challenges. We have a lot of challenges. We should have the courage to face that. Of course, definitely we should have good health to pursue all those things. So if all these things are there, definitely we can be a good civil engineer. Okay. Then see what is our achievement. We are so good. We are so good in achieving, like Professor has mentioned, a lot of structures. I have mentioned only the many are there. I'm showing only few. And see, this is the Millau Bridge in France. Is the highest bridge, and Burj Khalifa. We are telling that this is the tallest building. And again, they are coming up with a much higher building at Dubai itself. And Ras Al Khaimah, that in Saudi Arabia, that is the large desalination plant. That is very important. Now we in Chennai, after sometimes we have to desalinate the seawater and use it. So all these things covers what civil engineers are doing. And how to achieve all these things? You should have determination, enthusiasm, positive spirit, perseverance, and passion. All together, we can call that as a research. It's very important. We should have the patience to pursue what we want to achieve. Altogether, it is called as research aptitude. Now, how to do the research? To pursue research, we should identify what are the thrust areas. And look at the thrust areas nowadays. First of all, as Professor Chair has mentioned, we should have the access to the clean water. How serious is our water challenge? We should identify that, and where does our water supply comes from, and what is desalination, what other technologies will provide clean water. The access to clean water is the minimum basic requirement for any human being. So we have the responsibility, as being a civil engineer, we have the responsibility to provide clean water to the society and shelter. Look at the census figure, 80% of the people are houseless. They need new houses. How we will provide that? The present normal cost in situ construction of the structures will not provide any good result to accommodate these many people. We have to think about new technologies, precast, prefabrication, and so many other technologies we have to think about. If something else comes out of the young minds, please come forward and share your requirement, and you should prove. That proof is what is called the research. And comes to energy. We have to think about how to make energy. There are a lot of solutions are there, like solar energy, wind energy, biomass energy, and geothermal. You can see here, geothermal energy. What is the heat available within our earth? We have to exploit out and tap it out and use that as energy for our requirement. Reusable energy is the hot topic of the hour. Energy, lot of funding is available to pursue work on this energy tapping. So kindly focus on all youngsters, please think about doing something towards the energy and infrastructure. Without that, nothing is there. This is our trademark. Civil engineers trademark is the infrastructure. What is the current status of our infrastructure? Most of around 80% of railway bridges are constructed out of steel as material. It's almost 90% of that structures need renovation, retrofitting, rehabilitation. How we will do that? So the role of a civil engineer is like what I can say, Trimurtis. We are creating something, making the job of Brahma, and we are taking care of the structures in the form of maintenance as Vishnu. And if it is not usable, we have to destroy it. So that will be Shiva's. So we are, as civil engineers, we are doing all Trimurti's job. So kindly look at that, how good and how we can build a better infrastructure. That's the role of a civil engineers. And our ages are almost ending in the lifetime. And as a professionalist, so youngsters, please come forward and think about that. And waste management. It's a very big problem nowadays. What are the components in that? We have to collect, we have to transport, treat it, and dispose it. Yesterday there was a news in TV, like a lot of waste comes out of the corona care centers, could not be disposed by the corporations. So what they will do, corporation is nothing but an extra fitting element. They are also human beings like us. As a civil engineering, if we have some solution to tell them, let us. We have to come out with some novel solutions for that. Now, considering all these responsibilities, the total system has been divided into many different specialties. Like what we are pursuing during BE program is we are studying the overall civil engineering. What are the responsibilities? What are the different varieties of work we can extract? But like MBBS, doctors who are pursuing MBBS, we are pursuing BE civil engineering. After that, doctors are going for specialties. We are also going for PG programs in various specialties. These are the specialties: structural, transportation, geotechnical, water resource, hydraulics, and all those things. And how we can do higher studies in various specialties. You just look at this next slide, and higher studies and research options in various segments or specialties. And we should be thankful to the ancestors who have set up all these prestigious institutions across the world. IASC, Tata people, you have to be thankful to them. IIT is set up by our great person, Jawaharlal Nehru. He has approached many countries for the support. For example, IIT Madras has been set up with the support of Germany. Like that, all previous old IITs has been set up with the support of various countries, developed countries. And how we can pursue that? MTech, all IITs, IASC and NITs are offering MTech, MS and PhD program in all different specialties. What is the mode of selection? We should have a good gate score for MTech program, PhD. They have to screen us by conducting the written test, interview and all those things. And fellowship, very good amount of fellowship will be giving by IITs, NITs and all. It is as per the norms of MSRD. And comes to CSIR lab. Now CSIR labs also offering PG programs and PhD programs, and like CSIR labs, especially for civil engineers, comes with CBRI, Central Road Research, Structural Engineering Research Center, National Environmental Engineering Research Institute. These are the various 4 labs which are offering PG program as well as PhD program for our civil engineers. So what is the mode of selection? They will conduct their own test, interview, and depends upon your qualified degree marks scored by you people. So all this defines the selection process. And fellowships again as per the MHRD norms. If you students are performing very well during your PG program as well as PhD program, automatically these labs will observe you. It depends upon your ability, how you are performing during your course of program. And comes to Anna University. Look at Anna University, we are very old. We are now celebrating our 25th year, College of Engineering, Guindy, where Professor SEKAR was Dean for a long years. And we are offering PG programs, different PG programs, around 13 PG program offering by Civil Engineering Department, College of Engineering, Guindy. And other colleges affiliated with Anna University is also offering various different types of PG programs. And either mode of selection, either you should have a valid gate score or you should have a TAN set score. Tamil Nadu government or Anna University is conducting a special entrance program, written test for selecting students for the PG programs. Either you should have a gate score or a TAN set score, you will be permitted to join for PG programs. And fellowships for the, if you have a valid gate score, you will get fellowship as per the MHRD norms. If you are joining as a TANSET score, it depends upon your mentor, how they are supporting you in conducting your experimental investigation and all. And regarding PhD program, this is my primary responsibility now with Anna University. The selection process, mode of selection is based on your qualifying PG program marks and how much mark you are scoring in written test and interview. Based on the cumulative marks, decide how whether you are eligible to get selected for the PhD program. And we are offering from Anna University, we are offering only one fellowship, which is called Anna Centenary Fellowship. 50 students from various disciplines will get fellowship per year. The amount is not huge. Compared to UGC, DST and all, we are giving only 16,000 rupees per month and a yearly contingency grant of 25,000. We are planning to improve that amount. And don't worry about this fellowship. The other institutions like UGC, University Grant Commission, AICT, we have AICT fellows also, research fellows also, and Department of Science and Technology, Atomic Energy, Information Technology, all these various funding agencies are providing fellowship for PhD scholars who are pursuing their PhD in full-time mode, not for the part-time scholars. Part-time scholars may be working somewhere else and they are pursuing PhD in the part-time mode. For full-time scholars who are registering for PhD program, they can approach all these various funding agencies for getting their fellowship to pursue their PhD. So now comes to the research abroad. Professor SEKAR was very much keen that I should present a slide on what are the probability of opportunities to pursue PhD abroad. When you look at the United States, there are very famous institutes, Stanford. Most of our UG students from CEG, they are pursuing their MS abroad. And many of our alumni has gone to Stanford, Texas, A&M, MIT, Sunny Buffalo, Rice University, and University of California has many campuses like Berkeley, San Davis, San Diego. Similarly, UK also have very good. I have taken the top ranked universities who are good in pursuing civil engineering PG programs like Cambridge, Oxford, College of London, and Manchester, Edinburgh. Like that, there are many universities which offer you. What you need to do is to get a good GRE score and a TOEFL score. And Canada, you can see Waterloo, Toronto, British Columbia, Alberta, and in New Zealand, Canterbury, Auckland, Wellington Institute, and Switzerland also very good. Two universities are there, UK Polytechnic and Swiss Federal Institute at Zurich. All these will provide funding for you to pursue your PG and PhD. So you can approach, if any support needed, you can approach us at any point of time. And Germany, Germans are very good in engineering. Their products, you know, all German products are so good. And Japan, Kyoto University, Nagoya University, Tokyo Institute of Technology. It's my pride to say that one of our alumni who pursued his PE program in CEG, and he pursued his PG program in one of our CSIR lab, Structural Engineering Research Center, Chennai. And after that, he did his PhD program in Japan, in Nagoya University. And now he is working as assistant professor in one of IIT. So it's a pride moment for us. He is in continuous touch with us. So like that, we can do a lot by pursuing our PG, higher studies and PhD programs. Now, look at the present scenario of research around the world, where we stand. That is very important. We have a lot of things to do further. You see, share of world R&D expenditure. When you take the total expenditure towards the R&D, USA is spending 32.4% of that total amount. Japan around 13%. Look at the numerals with respect to India. We are spending only 2.2% of the overall R&D expenditure around the world. So we need to think something more. We have to, because it's our responsibility to the society to do more research, and whatever be the research outcome should not be limited within public publishing papers or gaining patent. It should go to the society. It should be usable by the society. And now the number of Nobel laureates, you just see, in US around 270, UK 101. You look at India's condition, we have 13. Out of that, 5 only from India. And other 8 are, they have some connection with India, that's all. They would have been, their ancestors have been in India like that. And look at this picture also, total, out of 900 something, the men is around 800 plus, and women is only 52. That is the next point I should touch upon, women in research. Okay, so this is also, Madam Hema was insisting me that I should touch upon this. And women in research. You look at this picture, only one lady, and even at 1927, one lady was there to receive the Nobel Prize. But the question is, why the number is less? To whom we have to be blamed? It's not, nobody can be blamed. It's our pressure. Being a lady in Indian culture, we believe that we are there for caring others. So we have to, at young women, develop your life vision like career, marriage, motherhood, age milestones. At age of, latest by age of 30, we have to find a partner for life partner. And before 35, we used to think like we should have the first child and taking care of the kid, taking care of husband, and choose the career. At the mid-age, we are at the peak to choose a career for us. And we have to look for mentors. They should be supporters for us. At that age, we should have the support from the family. We need to get support from the working place and all those things. So this I'm talking about the young women. At the age of, at later age, if you are going in the ladder at the later career, at that time, Madam Indrani was once commenting. At that time, our older parents need our support. Children will be needing our support. At that time, our husband will become the teenagers. That was the comment she was telling. Like we have to take care of our old age parents, young children, and husband also. So during all these commitments, we may miss something. But think about the next slide. There are a lot of opportunity for getting the funding. UGC has given postgraduate Indira Gandhi scholarship, UGC postdoctoral fellowship at the tune of around 38,800. It's especially for girls. I'm listing out these funding opportunities only for women. And Department of Biotechnology, it's not for civil engineers, but still we can collaborate. We don't constrain ourselves with the civil engineering field itself. One of our Professor Nagabhush Rao has done his research on bone in elbow. He's a civil engineer. So like that, we can think about diversifying research also. And Science and Engineering Research Board is giving around 15 lakhs for 3 years. And Department of Health Research, Department of Science and Technology, all these are the opportunities where the government is hand-holding demand to pursue their research. So we have to utilize, we have to tap these opportunities, come forward and do the best. Being a lady, we are good at intelligence, we are good at thinking laterally for many things at a time. So let us come forward and march forward with many people in forefront for receiving Nobel laureates. So formula for success. So I am coming to the latest slides. Success is nothing but intelligence multiplied with hard work, and it has to be again multiplied with the attitude, and we should be too much smart. So smartness +1 we have to add. So that is the success story. Anyone who want to, so we have to, smartness means it's simple: planned and optimistic approach, time management, honesty and ethics, soft skills, develop soft skills, and computer and internet literacy, general knowledge and helping hands. If our students, technically they may be good, when they are going for some interview, asking some general knowledge questions, they may wonder. Somebody may ask the question like, I used to be in the panel of interviewing people in SCRC and all. If somebody is asking who is the President of India, they will blink. That's the situation with our engineers. So develop general knowledge and helping hand. Definitely, being a civil engineer, you should have the helping hand. So how to achieve all these goals? We have a lot of major activities. We have to go to the college and do the social work and entertainment, frustration, all those things are there. So there is a method suggested. It's called a STAIR method. What is that? I'll explain to you. Always set a small goal. We should, when we are completing BE, you think about next doing the PG program. Don't parallelly do many courses at a time. If possible, if somebody is smart, they can do and get it done. Just fulfill whatever be the goal we have set with, and this will give the confidence in us. Definitely, the self-confidence plays a major role in our life. Whether it's engineer, whoever it be, then set the next highest goal. Try to achieve that and never jump directly. Don't think that we can achieve everything at a time. We should have the patience to achieve. Definitely for pursuing the research, we should have the perseverance to achieve the results. And remember, low aim is always a crime. We should think high, like our APJ sir is commented, you always think about the sky. Then only at least we can reach the top of the hill. With this, I conclude. Sorry for all the inconvenience in between happened. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Jaya. Yeah, you rightly covered about all the ways and means of pursuing the higher education and the research programs, and also about, as Emma wanted, you also could touch upon the women. Of course, civil engineering cannot complain of lack of women in our profession, as you can just see, and mainly our colleague class strength also. At one particular time, we had more girls than boys in our classes. So now, of course, we have got 40-45% of the classes full of girls only, and they got opportunities also. some of the, especially the girls from Tamil Nadu state government, I just tell you, our state government has a policy to recruit 33 and 1/3% reservation for women. So we just go to any government department now, latest recruitments, you just go and see, you got lots of women candidates being absorbed. And then when I went to housing board, really, I was astonished last month, a few months back, and I could see a lot of women candidates. Then only, I myself was not knowing this reservation is existing and they are giving it. And especially in the government jobs, you get it. So women have got a lot of opportunities to pursue. Not only that, you are, as I was telling earlier, the teaching career, the best suited. Maybe the women may excuse me for telling that, but the responsibilities that Jaya was listing, the teaching career actually helps in carrying out their career along with that responsibilities also. So that's why I just advise that, especially some of the women candidates, please look at this particular opportunity, career opportunity also. Accordingly, you prepare yourself also. So thank you, Dr. Jaya. And
sincere thanks to the Science City, Government of Tamil Nadu and INEAS for giving us an opportunity to address 80 plus young civil engineering aspirants. They want to pursue their careers in a civil engineering branch. Good morning, friends who are joined for the meeting today. Friends, today, before I start my session, I want to drive on a message. As a country, we are doing very well. We are doing extremely well. The whole world is looking at India, considering India as a land of opportunity. That's the reason why all these big multinational companies are trying to start their operations, or already started their operations and functioning in India. The whole world is looking at India, considering India as a land of opportunity. So friends, the message is, the reason is, today as a country, we are blessed with 67 to 68% or 69% of the population fall under the age category of 19 to 32. When I say the 19 to 32, that's a young age population advantage we have. To put it in precisely, people call it the demographic advantage. So my young friends who are pursuing the civil engineering program, you are all living in a good time in a country like India. That's what my first message to all of you. When I say there are a lot of opportunities, because this young age population advantage is not there across anywhere in the globe. That's the reason why all these big companies across the globe are interested to start their operations in India. So to be precise, to be precise, so friends, you have a lot of ample opportunities in the multinational companies as well as the national level organizations. So when you look at the campus per se, either you can get recruited through a campus, through on campus, or through an off campus. When I say the campus recruitment, usually you have job opportunities in the core engineering companies, IT product companies, and then consulting companies, management organization, and financial institutions. So as a young aspiring civil engineer, you have a choice in which area you want to pursue, whether you want to pursue your career on a core company or an IT company or an IT product company. If you are interested to start your career on a core company, friends, I'm telling you, you must be strong in the fundamentals. So what are all the subjects you learn from first semester to the final semester? Be thorough with the fundamentals. If you are thorough with the fundamentals, friends, I'm telling you, when you go for the interview with the organizations, your chances or the probability of getting selected in the organization will be very high. So usually when an organization, when they come for the recruitment, normally they evaluate the candidate on 3 different parameters. When I say the 3 different parameters, one is the attitude, second area is the skill, and third area is the knowledge. This is what we call the ASK formula. A stands for attitude, S stands for skill, and K stands for knowledge. When I say the attitude, even Professor Shagar has touched upon, even Madam also has touched upon, as an organization, what really we are interested is whether you are considered to be a positive oriented individual, whether you have a high level of confidence, what about your behavioral, how you talk to people, how you move with people. So these are all some of the areas in which people will evaluate that precisely fit into the category of attitude. Second area is the skill. So when I say the skill, there are a lot of skills are listed. To quote few, your communication skill. When I say the communication skill in English, not only English, even in some of the native languages. If you are good in communication, friends, I'm telling you, the probability of getting selected into the company will be very high. When I say the skills, even the team orientation, how to talk to people, the interpersonal relationship, managing time. So these are all some of the areas in which people will try to assess you. That's what normally I used to say. 4 years of your studies, with the 4 years of your studies, if you can be able to manage the interview situation of 40 minutes, friends, I'm telling you, 40 years of your professional life will be taken care. So when I say the 40 years of your professional life, as I mentioned earlier, you can start your career either in a core company or in an IT company or in a consulting company or in a management company. When I say that IT, even Professor SEKAR has also pointed about Rajendran, the former IT advisor to the former president of Obama in US. So who is currently working for Carnegie Mellon. So friends, I'm telling you, if you really have an aspiration to join an IT company, you must know 1 or 2 programming languages. When I say 1 or 2 programming languages, it may be Python, or it may be R, or it may be C, C++. When I say the programming languages, really as an organization, what we are interested in is you should have a proficiency on the programming language. If you have a proficiency on the programming language, if you can able to write some good codes, friends, the possibility to get into the IT company will be very high. So there are people with the background of civil engineering, started their career in IT, they flourish very well in the IT career. So friends, I'm telling you that there are opportunities in IT. At the same time, there are opportunities in some of the management consulting companies also. When these management consulting companies, normally they visit to the campus, they try to identify how innovative you are, or how your curiosity to learn new things. These are all some of the parameters in which they try to test you. And once you're through with this process, friends, I'm telling you, you'll get a lot of opportunity to work in a consulting companies. There are some financial institutions. Say, for example, financial institutions like Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, and then some of the banking institutions. They visit to the campus and recruit. Even offline, also they call for an application and they recruit people. As Professor SEKAR has pointed out, there are 2 ways in which every one of you get an employment opportunity. One is through campus, another one is through the off-campus. If you want to get into an off-campus mode, what you have to do is you have to visit the website of the organizations, all these big organizations. There will be a column there for career. So there you can get into, then you can put your resumes there. So as and when there is an opportunity arises, people will try to stay in touch with you. They call for an interview, and then you may get an opportunity to get selected in that particular company. Sometimes the organization throw open some of the challenges and competitions. As a youngsters, participate in those kind of competitions and challenges. If you are successful on the competition and challenges, friends, there is another way and the possibility you can get into the job portal of the organization. So these are all some of the ways in which you can get into the organization. Yeah, so these are all some of the organizations they visit and recruit people. And to quote some of the big Indian companies, L&T, ECC, Soma Construction, IVRCL, Simplex, Pune, Dastur and Sons, Sapunji and Palanji. These are all some big companies. They provide employment opportunity to the civil engineering candidates. When you look at the government side, you name any government organization, be it central government or a state government or a quasi-government, the opportunity for the civil engineer is there. So whether it's a public works department or a highways department or a state highways or a national highway department, there are a lot of opportunities. The government of India has come up with a Bharatmala scheme where they want to have a road connectivity across India. Across India, there is a huge investment is from the government side. The mandate for the national highways department is every day at bare minimum they have to construct 4.75 kilometers of road. So under this Bharatmala scheme, so the road construction work is going on. One thing, if you want to get a job opportunity in a core engineering, friends, I'm telling you, you should have the flexibility and adaptability. As Professor SEKAR has rightly pointed out, if you are flexible enough and if you can able to adapt any kind of a situation, then core engineering opportunity in civil is very, very, very high. Right? It may be a road project or it may be a construction in a different place in the different site. So, friends, I'm telling you, when you always, for the youngsters, I used to say, always you should go out from the comfort zone move out from the comfort zone. Instead of looking for a job opportunity in your own area or in your native place or in and around your native place, friends, that may not help you. In the young age, try to move out. When you move out across the state, across the country, friends, I'm telling you, there's a possibility to learn a new language, new culture, and then your growth opportunity prospects also will be very, very high, right? So when you want to get into the government institutions or government organizations, what is required? When you want to get into a government organizations or the public sector organizations, friends, there are two modes in which they do a selection. One is the selection through a gate. Another one, they visit some of the premium institutions and do the recruitment. There are few organizations, public sectors, now they even started giving an advertisement in the paper on the national daily. You can also apply and get into. Or there is a newspaper called the Employment News. Employment comes in every week. Employment News carry all the government job opportunities. So friends, if there are any, if you are interested in joining the government organizations or the public sector organizations, you have to get a good score on GATE. When you get a good score, friends, I'm telling you, in the year 2020-21, there is going to be 85,000 plus vacancies are going to arise in the public sector alone. So in the public sector, if you want to get into, then obviously writing GATE, getting some good score and entering into the job market, the job portal of the public sector is very, very high. Now, even the government organizations like the insurance, banking, those companies also, those organizations also recruit civil engineers in order to give, in order to assess the projects, right? So there are job opportunities even in the defense. One of my colleague daughter who studied in College of Engineering Guindy, ME, probably Professor SEKAR also knows her. She's a girl. She did her ME here, joined defense. Now she's working in the civil engineering branch of the engineering services of the Indian Army. See, likewise, there are a lot of opportunities are thrown open. As a young graduate, even if you aspire to be a civil servant, there is also possibility, right? The one interesting thing or one interesting statistics I can also quote: the clearing the UPSC exam by the engineers, the number of percentage is very, very high. So as an engineer, since you have already possessed an analytical ability, you can clear any competitive exam. To clear the competitive exam is easy for an engineer when compared to another graduate. So you can also, that's also a way in which you can try your possibility. Usually in the month of April, May, there will be an advertisement. It will be a year-long process. You have to apply and you have to appear for the prelims for the UPSC civil service. You have to apply for the prelims. Once you clear the prelims, then you will have a main. Once you clear the main exam, then you will have an interview. Once you clear the interview, then you will have a training program. Today, the highest respectable job in the society is the civil service, maybe the IAS or the IPS. There are some 30 plus services are there available in the government side. Even Indian engineering service is also one of the area in which you also can make an attempt. So, friends, I'm telling you, whether you want a job in a government sector or in a public sector or in a private multinational companies, accordingly you have to prepare. When I say you have to do a preparation lies in three areas. One is the skill development, and second area is the enhancement of your knowledge, and third area is try to do some kind of a value-added courses. Friends, apart from your degree, if you do some of the value-added courses which are very pertaining and which is relevant to your area of specialization, friends, I'm telling you, during job interview you will have more opportunity. So always use this period, right, precisely and usefully, and try to learn or try to acquire the new skills. Always that new skill and the new value-added course will help you to get a good job in the job market. And another thing, as a young professional engineer, you should also acquire one new knowledge learn a new language. When I say the new language, it may be a regional or Indian language, or it may be a foreign language. If you have knowledge, foreign language knowledge, then the opportunity get a job opportunity in foreign countries will be very high, right? For civil engineers, there are a lot of opportunities in the Gulf regions, in the Gulf countries, even some of the other European Union also. There are huge opportunities. So, friends, it is left with the individual how we are going to prepare, how we are going to excel in our professional life is all that matters, right? So, when I say some of the multinational organizations, even Namco is one of the organization. ITD Cementation is another company. All the big brands like Reliance Infra, Hindustan Construction, SR, Nagarjuna Construction. There are many organizations, civil engineering organizations are there. So friends, ultimately, at the end of the day, as I mentioned earlier, 4 years of your studies, if you can able to comprehend and present within 40 minutes during the interview process, friends, I'm telling you, the 40 years of your professional life will be taken care just like that. So there are a lot of opportunities. You need not to worry about that. The academic score is one side. Academic score is also very important. So during academics, you should be a consistent performer in the academics. So if you are a consistent performer in the academic, and if you are a topper in the class, friends, I'm telling you, the job will chase you, right? All this COVID-19 pandemic, these are all is the short-term phenomena. You need not worry about the short-term phenomena. As I mentioned earlier in my opening note, as a country, we are doing very well. We are doing extremely well. So you all have a fantastic opportunity. That's the reason why the world is now witnessing many of our Indians are becoming CEOs of big organizations. Be it Microsoft, or be it Google, or be any organization, the time is not far off. Even the core engineering companies like Saipem or ITD Cementation or Technip and those kind of companies also, the Indians are going to lead the positions in the organizations. So all my 81 participants who are assembled today, thank you very much for listening to me, and I'm waiting for the questions. So thank you, Professor Shekhar, for giving an opportunity. I think precisely I have finished within 10 minutes. I'm looking for some questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Kalai, for dwelling upon the complete scenario about the requirements, availability, everything which you have come and then presented. I specifically put that campus placements and beyond only because the campus placements are not going to be very good in all institutions. So there the people have to really look beyond. They have to look beyond. Naturally, they should know what they have. They are outside what's availability and how they can do that. And Kalai has touched upon very nicely about all the areas where they can go. And also because he said about the ASK, that also I think people should be very keen on that. And again, I insist people to see that you equip yourself and job will search come to you. You need not be a topper. Of course, Kalai just mentioned topper once, but you need not be a topper at all. Please, as far as civil engineering is concerned, we don't require toppers at all. You don't need to be a topper, especially for any job that civil engineering job needs. So it is only equip yourself, as he said, ASK. You keep that in mind and do that. That's what I'm saying. Next, we'll go to the consulting, other industries and opportunities and marketing and all those stuff which we have to see, because now we are trying to go slightly deviating from the set jobs that we are going to do. But what are the other ways where a civil engineer can flourish and shine, actually strictly speaking, earn more money than these jobs which we have been talking of all this time. So I invite Dr. V. Rajendran. He is a managing director in Hitech Group, Chennai, leading one of the leading private companies, doing a good job in rehabilitation of buildings and structures. Dr. Rajendran has done his PhD in corrosion of concrete structures from Anna University. He has got 25 years of expertise in non-destructive testing, rehabilitation, corrosion, monitoring, and rehabilitation. And he has authored a number of technical reports on condition assessment of concrete structures and buildings. He is currently the Secretary of Association of Consulting Civil Engineers, Chennai, and in which he has got a lot of professional contacts, and he knows how actually the civil engineering profession is a very popular and at the same time very promising and serving profession in the society. So he is also serving society in a social service manner, and he has been elected as the president of Rotary Club of Alandur. Last week he took his charge also. So he has got a multifaceted person serving the society, serving the profession, and serving the humanity. So let me invite Dr. Rajendran to give his presentation. Dr. Rajendran.
Thank you very much, sir, for a nice introduction. First of all, I thank Science City and also my teacher, Dr. Shekhar, for the opportunity given to me to explain this particular area. After completing the course, what all the avenues are available. In general, we all know that we have got a number of avenues available. We can go ahead with the regular construction industry, where we can be a site engineer, or we can do as a project engineer, project manager, and so on. But I'm just going to touch upon area where something different from all this. What I'm trying to go upon is that the specialized industry, what we are having opportunity, which is untouched market, I would say. And as Professor Shekhar has said, it has got a huge potential in terms of monetary benefits are concerned. So that we need to look at it in terms of success, being completing civil engineering and then trying to pursue our career in further. If you look at civil engineering, only civil engineer is a person who sees the end product. For example, I'm a mechanical engineer, I get occupied or I get an employment even in huge companies like Hyundai, car factory, where I'll be putting to a paint shop, body shop, or engine shop, where I'll be able to know only about engine shop and body shop, what all the activities being done. I'll not be able to see the finished product except for, which is a car goes out of the factory. Or otherwise, if I'm employed in Brakes India, yes, I would get, specialized in braking system, but I'm not able to have an overall idea about it. But only civil engineers, we from the foundation till completion, handing out the project to the client, we are completely involved, and we get a satisfaction of the product which is handed out to the end user as a finished one. The only big difference between the other industry and us is, if I want to make even a small pin or a safety pin, where I got everything is going to control the environment, and I'm going to make this product, and the product is going to go out of the industry. Whereas in civil engineering, product is a fixed one. To make a product a permanent product, we are going to have all the facilities which are only temporary. You could start with even your excavation equipments, or it will be a concrete mixer machine, and so on. So with this point, I'm just trying to dwell upon why the specialized industries are growing more and more, because in civil engineering, we got a lot of uncertainties, and we need to know how to make this uncertainty as an opportunity for us. In terms of potential is concerned, we have the metro. We are going to invest this year alone about 550 billion, and in terms of Delhi Mumbai industrial corridor, about 1,500 kilometers. It involves about 7 states. It's going to cover about 7 states, and we are going to invest 3,648 millions. In terms of road, KALAISELVAN rightly said that we are aiming at 4.75 kilometers, but at present we are doing only 2.75 kilometers, and got huge scope per 1,000 people, and in an average world record or world aiming at is 6.7 kilometers per 1,000 people. As against our 4.75 kilometers target, as against that we are doing only 2.75 kilometers per 1,000 people. So that's an opportunity which is available, huge. Even if we take an urban infra, we're going to invest by 2024, 11,842 crores was the target set. So with this opportunity, I just get into straightforward what we can do as a student, which I come out of the college after completing my 4 years, where I understand overall engineering in civil engineering, and then come out of it. By that time, I would be also creating some interest. What is the interest I'm going to have, where I'm going to proceed. For example, I'm very good in communication, and I have I'm an aptitude or hobby or interest towards travel. The first and foremost thing I would say that marketing. People are going for IT industry for 2 reasons, and the introduction speech, it's well said by Dr. Shekhar. We are all completing it. We are looking at the life science, and we are going to look at the our own survival. When it comes to survival, we go for an IT for one simple reason is that the better package is being given in an IT company than in a civil engineering company. But I would say that much better than, or you can love, if you are a traveler and you have good communication, you can choose marketing as your life. Because today, without a construction chemical, you cannot make a concrete, you cannot even do a small brickwork. We got number of construction chemicals. It starts with concrete admixtures, flooring, protective coatings, waterproofing, and so on. So without this, we will not be able to really go and then finish up the project. And also these materials are used for the fast track construction. I just touch upon as a few photographs. What is waterproofing all about it? It's a swimming pool where you're going to have a waterproofing system outside. Generally in civil engineering, in our curriculum, we all read about civil engineering. We all read about retaining wall design, and we all read about the design of a raft for the upward pressure, hydrostatic pressure, and so on. But there is something else apart from that, and I again reinstate, as Professor Shekhar said, rightly, you've got huge monetary benefit over in this particular field, because there are very few people who do this job, and there are very few people who understand this technology and then execute it. It could be a small swimming pool like this, or be a terrace waterproofing for an individual customer like this, or it will be a huge mega projects like tunnel, where you are going to have huge potential of this specialized works. Construction equipment is another industry where 3.1 billion dollars being spent on this construction equipment, where you can choose this construction equipment as a marketing. To name Hilti, the people who are there in the industries, everybody knew very well about Hilti, Bosch, and these people are making construction equipments. They look for civil engineers who have got a better communication skills, where they can go and explain and convince another civil engineer, because we can understand their language very easily. What is the requirement? Based on the requirement, we will be able to choose upon and then tell them what is required for them to go about it. If you say flooring, normally as a civil engineer, people will think that, okay, I'm going to do a raft concreting with the reinforcement, maybe thickness of 150 millimeter, 200 millimeter, and so on. But the industrial requirement of flooring is absolutely different. Few thousand crores being spent on this industrial flooring. One such is an epoxy flooring. I'm going to have an automobile industry where it's going to have all the time oil spillage and things like that. I don't want the oil to get percolated on the concrete surface. So the moment the concrete is done, 28 days is over, then I'm going to do an epoxy coating of about 3 coats or 2 millimeter thickness. And this is going to be a recurring business. It is not a one-time business. Every 2 years, you need to recoat. And if you look at, for example, if I'm again citing an example, Hyundai, the factory premises area, if you look at it, it is going to be in, maybe about 20,000, 25,000 lakh square foot area or square meters you are going to do. Likewise, you've got number of industry. It is not only for automobile industry, it is also for IT industry. An IT industry where they are going to make, electronic components, they don't want any dust to come from the flooring. Any quantity if we do, the unhydrated lime will keep coming for next 2 years or 3 years, or continue to go. And again, that dust is not advisable for such industry, where again you have to go for epoxy coating as a sealer. And not only that, it also gives an aesthetic. If you go for an ISO certification, and people would like to go this sort of. So this is a very, very huge industry, untapped industry. If anybody is having very interest toward this specialized, and I would advise them, rather than getting into a normal regular civil engineering employment, you please look at this. Even protective coating, we all know that concrete structure corrodes because of the reason carbon dioxide or chloride ions getting penetrating into the concrete surface, cover concrete, or carbon dioxide getting diffused in the cover concrete, and then the corrosion takes place. Corrosion is a huge industry. It's a never-ending process. We are going to have throughout the year, round the clock, we need to have this sort of opportunities to come. Next is the testing. The non-destructive testing. So if you look at the mechanical industry, you've got an American Society of Non-Destructive Testing institutes are available. They certify you, maybe level 1, level 2, level 3, and so on. But it so happens we do not have any certifying agency for the non-destructive testing in civil engineering. So when something is not there, that's the place we need to look at it more and more. Only thing what you need to do is that you need to pay a little more concentration on your physics. Otherwise, it's going to be a child play, not a big issue at all. Now, where is it, an opportunities for this? For example, 2005, we had seismic zone 2 classification as far as Chennai is concerned. Now we got 2000. After that, we have zone 3. Now you go to any building, it could be a government building, private building. It's the moment you go there and ask for a documents which has been constructed even 5 years, 10 years before. None of the documents are available. People do not know what is the grade of concrete used. People do not know what is the reinforcement detailing has been adopted in that. So such cases, obviously, we have to resort to non-destructive testing to find out what is the grade of concrete. Maybe a core cutting will be doing it, or we need to do proformeter survey, profoscope survey to find out what is the reinforcement available, and look at the percentage of reinforcement. Based on that, you do the reverse calculation and then say that what needs to be done for the rehabilitation for seismic upgradation. In fact, I would like to say that Jaya Madam is extensively working on it. We had done one of the project for her at Kuragam, at the Paris corner, which was an upgradation for that. Similarly, for structural stability, now every government building needs to be undergo structural stability. Even if I'm having a school, every 2 years once, I need to renew my license. Even it could be a bar, I need to renew my license. For that, one of the document I need to submit is the structural stability where again, testing and certifying this is coming into picture. Or you can also think a normal building where I construct a house, probably in the outskirts of city, and it's a residential building. The city expands, and the area is becoming commercial. Now I wanted to put this building for a functionality change, maybe for a residential building to a commercial building, or it could be a restaurant, or it could be an office building. Again, when it goes to a change in use, I need to look at it. The loading conditions are different. We need to certify for that, but the testings are being used very, very extensively. Non-tested testing is being a very, very huge area. People not at all getting into deep about it, and we need to work in terms of NDT. We can work next 30 years or 40 years down the line, because everything is a number game as of today, and only with their engineering judgment we are able to make it. So people with little more of physics knowledge, they can come into this. Having said this, specialized industry, waterproofing and epoxy lining, you can also become a contractor, where if you want to become an entrepreneur, the next speaker is going to talk in detail about it. I just touch upon. For the entrepreneurship, I would suggest that instead of general civil engineering, sort of a specialized area is going to give us a very, very huge improvement. To be very honest, in 1990, I came into the specialized industry with an investment of 2,000 rupees. Today, we are employing, or we are given employment to about 100 plus people, having 3 verticals of trading, consultancy, and contracting. Only for the specialized, we don't do new construction. So this is a potential available in this industry. Anybody can be able to survive, or not only survive, they will be able to succeed, and they employment to number of other civil engineers who are coming out of these colleges. When I say waterproofing, it can be as small as that, a bathroom waterproofing. Anybody, when you walk in an apartment building, the first sign we see is that the leaking of the sunken portion, where the waterproofing is not done properly, or the pipe packing is not done properly. So it starts from that. When you want to start an entrepreneur, you can start with a small turnover of maybe about 5 lakhs per annum, and then you can just keep escalating yourself to a terrace waterproofer, and then, as I said, we can go up to the tunnel waterproofing. And now every high-rise buildings, if you go, but 17-story, 20-story, whatnot. But you can look at it, these buildings, minimum they have got 2 basements and 3 basements. For these 3 basements, doing a waterproofing alone will be about 2.5 to 3 crores is the budget which is being allotted for the waterproofing of basement alone. In addition to that, there are a number of units available, a number of flats available, sunken portion. Every flat allows about 2 bathrooms, and you can look at about even minimum of 50 to 75 square foot. 150 square foot is going to be each flat area for sunken portion bathroom and waterproofing alone, and you will have 125 flats, 600 flats, and you multiply that, that's a potential available. And the last one is going to be a terrace, swimming pool, club area, and so on, whatnot. It's going to be a huge potential. For epoxy lining alone, epoxy flooring alone, the year 2024, it has been estimated, we get a circle because we have the construction chemical industry, it's about 6.8 billions they are going to invest on this epoxy lining for the industries which are going to come into India. As Kalaiselvan has said very rightly, we are growing very well in this industry. Huge potential is available. Even in waterproofing in India, we estimate the market size of about 5,000 crores only for waterproofing for these apartments and individual houses. That's what the system which has been looked at it, and people are also inventing new systems coming up. There are a number of systems available. Let's not get into the technicality. Let's look at only the potential which is available, where we'll be able to place ourselves in a better manner. Nevertheless, the next industry is a repair and rehabilitation of RC structures, which has got a very, very huge potential. Today, there is no professionally or scientifically trained contractors and technicians are available for us to carry forward this. If you look at USA is projecting it somewhere around $2.8 million of amount which they want to do it, or they want to spend in 2024 for repair and rehabilitation. Of course, they have one issue of de-icing salts for the bridges, where they have a recurring corrosion issues. But even in India also, especially marine structures, we have got a very, very huge potential for marine structures in terms of repair and rehabilitation. Even a regular apartment also, we had a system in earlier days. Every year when it comes to Pongal or when it comes to Christmas or Ramzan, we had a system of applying color wash or whitewash for the residential buildings or apartments, where we are going to do a 1.2 or 2 millimeter layer of a coating, which is going to act as an anti-carbonation coating, or otherwise also it is going to be a sacrificial coating where the carbonation would take place within that 1 year. And the next festival comes in, we are going to recoat it, and we made a point that our covered concrete never got carbonated. After this apartment culture has come up, we never thought of doing this, and even 10 years, 15 years once we start doing this coating, because we have an association, number of people are joined together, convincing, doing things like that, becoming a very huge issue. Probably as a student right now, you'll be also living in an apartment, you also know what sort of issues you are coming across in your own dwelling units. So what happens by the time, 15 years, 12 years later, when you want to do some sort of a coating on it, by that time the carbonation would have taken place, corrosion has taken place, and people start spending huge amount within a span of 8 years to 10 years. I would even say, openly say that one of the site at Coimbatore, just in 8 years time, they spent 2.78 crores only for repair and rehabilitation for the reason corrosion has taken place. Is just opposite to our CMBT bus terminus. This is what happening in this industry, because ours is a complete and unorganized industry. We do works with our people who does not know what is concrete. Anybody who doesn't get a job as an unskilled labor, he comes to this industry for doing for survival. So with these limitations, this specialized industry has got huge potential. You can think of this and then you can plan your future on this. Now the last one, consultancy and PMC. We have many consultants for structural designing, and they'll be able to do it. When it comes to repair and rehabilitation, choosing a right material for that particular requirement becomes an issue. So where we need to have a material knowledge and also structural knowledge, so that in the combination of these two, we can do or we can give a better repair methodology. That area is having a huge gap. You can think of that. Probably you can work in the marketing line for about a year or two, where you can understand the product, and then you can come to and do the design and start working in combination of this as a consultant for repair and rehabilitation. Very, very, very huge potential. PMC, again, quality assurance and quality control is the two area where we have a huge gap in it. People are doing concreting, testing the cubes. Once the cube fails, and then going back, how it has failed, what was the reasons of failure, then how to address, how to clear this NC becomes a major issue. For example, I would say quantity surveying, a general quantity surveying, now we have got a lot of softwares and things like that, we can do it. But for quantity surveying for a repair and rehabilitation industry, you have no softwares, nothing is available, only we have to do manually with our engineering judgment on seeing the site. We need to have, okay, what sort of a repair methodology I'm going to go for, concreting, or it's going to be a polymer modified mortar, or carbon fiber wrapping, or it could be even a steel plate bonding. Now, repair and rehabilitation, we are not sure about how it comes and what are the potential is coming. We ourselves used to wonder, and we get inquiries you cannot even imagine. So this is one structure which is a corrosion and a marine structure. But I show another structure where this structure is a building, something story building. Well before the building is being completed, the AC ducts have been taken. The AC drawing have been given. Then you say that general drawings have been given. When the drain pipe, I'm showing this is what the AC duct and then exhaust. And the drain pipe, when they want to take, they give a typical drawing for a drain pipe. The contractor, AC contractor, when it comes in, uses a common sense. If there is a typical drawing or location has been given for a drain, as he has to take this water out, and obviously it has to go lower. When it comes at one particular size, they cut the main reinforcement, and then this is how they do it, and warrants for these pipes they are taking, and it warrants for steel plate bonding technique, because main reinforcement got cut. Well before the building is completed, this warrants for a repair and rehabilitation. We just wonder, how all this is taking place. So if you wanted to work in a general civil engineering as well, but if you tune a little more, maybe slightly, you may have to improve your communication skill, or as Kalaiselvan and Dr. SEKAR said, ask yourself for ASK, and then skill and communication. If attitude is going to be there for your communication and marketing, this is what the industry one can think of. Very high potential is available. Probably if someone comes in, starts even as an entrepreneur, for next 20 years, you can keep starting new companies. That's a potential available. With this, I just thank you and good luck for budding engineers. And I thank once again Science City and Professor SEKAR sir for giving an opportunity to talk on this particular specialized field, which is not being addressed in many forums. Thank you very much, sir.
Good. Very nice of you. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Rajendran, for touching up a great gamut of areas where people might not have known these are available now for them to take up and then work, because the challenges are going to be there, but still very few people are available. And also you indicated the gaps that are existing like in the industry outside, where they can easily find market and then try to get into that. So this repair and rehabilitation is one thing which is very, very, like Jaya was pointing out for the Trimurti concept. Demolition is one important thing which people are not looking at. They're just wondering how to demolish structures within a short time, safer way. So that is also people can take up. One of my very close friends who is a builder here in Chennai yesterday talking to me, telling that it is a very good opportunity for the people to organize a demolition team itself within them. Because the moment you are demolishing, there are people to take the material away by themselves. It is only that you have to form a network and do that. So you don't know where our potential and expertise can be used. So people should be open in their mind to take up anything. So in that case, there will be very, very easy for that. So we'll move on to the next session where people would have noticed I just said that you are employed by someone or you are your own employer. So this is where I want to comment that instead of saluting a boss all the time, why don't you yourself become a boss? That is opportunities here in this particular profession. So I invite our Ravichandran, Engineer Ravichandran, to talk about the entrepreneurship, which is a very, very important thing which people should think of now. Because you can't be wondering and then cursing that I don't get a job and all that, when you have the opportunity to give jobs to many. So how to enter into it, how to go into it can be told by Ravichandran. Engineer Ravichandran, incidentally my classmate in BE, he did his BE in College of Engineering, Hindi. Also, he did his PG diploma in business management and marketing and sales networking, etc. He had a brief stint in teaching. But anyway, he left teaching and then went for a public sector undertaking called Richard and Gerdas. He worked there for 8 years. And for the past 33 years, he is a very successful entrepreneur dealing with water, wastewater management for dairy, tannery, paper and pharmaceutical industries, and also construction of major housing projects both here and Coimbatore he is doing, even now presently he is doing. He is also a construction contractor for celebrities in our city industry also. So he's got a close connection there. So he is a very enterprising, entrepreneur. Among our classmates, he is the one who does the fundraising activity very successfully for our classmates and all our mentoring and social activities we do as a class team. Now I'll request Engineer Ravichandran to talk on entrepreneurship for civil engineers. Ravi?
Yeah. Thank you, SEKAR. Yeah. Thank you, SEKAR, for your introduction. As the speakers before me were all talking, there is a lot of opportunities for the civil engineers. As SEKAR said, food and shelter is a man's basic requirement. So as long as you need a shelter, there is a role for the civil engineers. And the civil engineers can, join government companies, private sectors, as all other people are telling. I would like to tell you a small story of an entrepreneur. When I was doing effluent treatment plant for Breaks India in Badi, I had one small supervisor with me. The main job was to excavate an anaerobic lagoon. A very big pond has to be excavated. And we were estimating how much should be the cost of excavation by engaging JCB, etc. And about ₹1 lakh was to be spent for the excavation. Then we were also discussing what we should do with the excavated earth, and for transporting again, huge cost was involved. One of my supervisor, a very intelligent fellow by name Krishnan, he said, "Sir, you give me ₹1 lakh, we will engage these laborers, etc. and I will finish off the excavation." Then he lined up on his own with somebody who wants to fill up a low-lying land, saying, "You please come and take the soil from here." So the fellow who wanted the soil, he came and excavated. Thereby, this fellow made money twice. Once for excavation and again selling the excavated soil to somebody else. That means, he was very intelligent at that time. Believe me or not, a fellow who was drawing around 1,200 rupees per month at that time, in one project in Bricks, India, he made about 1 lakh of rupees. So that is where the smartness lies. So I would like to tell you about entrepreneurship in civil engineering. Okay, so who is an entrepreneur? A person who organizes, operates and assumes the risk for a business venture. See, this is what I was telling. All of you need not think, yes, after graduation, I have to go for a job, I have to go for a public sector, I must join L&T, etc. You can think of that I will organize some business operation in my field, whereby, I will do my own business venture and earn. If you really see, in most of these, even government contracts or major private contracts, the organization is not generally doing the civil works. It is being outsourced to the various small subcontractors who most probably are not qualified. So here I am suggesting to the civil engineers, if you are interested, you can start your own venture. And what exactly is an entrepreneurship? Individual who works for himself instead of working for an employer, and he makes his income through the profitable venture, as I was telling in the excavation job. See, normally after graduation, you are trying to join MNCs, corporations, etc. But very few think of self-employment or an entrepreneurship. Civil engineering provides excellent opportunities to be on your own. And what is the importance of entrepreneurships? You are creating new business, you are creating a social change, and you add to the national income. That means, instead of earning monthly salaries, you make really good profit, and by that you pay the income tax, and the national income also goes up, and you also develop the community as a whole. But what are the main functions of an entrepreneurship? So if you go for an employment, if you are in a structural design, you'll be doing only the designs. If you are in a project management, you are going to do only the project management. If you are in the field of execution, you'll be monitoring execution. But when you are going to be on your own, then you need an entrepreneurial function. That means, you should identify what is the business you are going to do. You must organize what all the, manpowers and other things needed. You need also the managerial capacities, promotional functions. You must identify what is the business. You should not enter into a business which has got a lot of competition. You must, as Rajendran was saying, you should try to enter into a new product or new line, be a market leader, and you can really dictate terms. And what all the business plans, requirement of finance, commercial functions, what is going to be your income expenditures, proper accounting. See, all these things is required when you are an entrepreneur, in addition to your core civil engineering knowledge. And as far as skills are concerned, as Madam Jaya was telling, you need to have good communication skills, marketing strategy, focus, ability to learn, and business strategy. These are all the skills which you should develop if you want to be a successful entrepreneur. Then what are the personal traits that are needed? Because when you are doing your own business, you are running into the risk of running the business properly, making a profit, and then making it viable. So you need to have a very high personal traits like discipline, confidence, open-mindedness, self-starter. You must be competitive, creativity, determinations, passion for the work, and interpersonal skills. So now, if you are going to be an entrepreneur, what are the benefits? You are going to be independent on your own. You are going to be the boss, as SEKAR was saying. You don't have to really worry about, I have to work from 9 to 5. I should report to my manager. I should report to my top bosses. You are having flexible working schedule based on your business needs and the financial rewards. In fact, as SEKAR was telling, I was working in a public sector. I was really seeing that the amount of effort which I was putting in my projects and the salary I was getting, if I am going to be on my own, whether I'll get a better financial rewards. And looking back after 33 years, I will say that yes, definitely I've earned much more than what I would have earned as a retirement benefit. So your financial rewards, if you work sincerely, is going to be very high. And you are going to help your own friends and relatives. See, when you are going to be in a proper organization, there is going to be a proper recruitment, etc. Whereas when you are on your own business, when you are going to have your own company, you can always help your loyal friends and relatives who will be supporting to you much better than an outsider people. And you can diversify into more than one area. Once you stabilize your business and then, put it into your proper streams, then there is always available, spare time for you. You can diversify into more than one business. Like as I was, SEKAR was telling, I was doing mostly in water and wastewater engineering. After some time, when the business was streamlined, I was able to diversify into the proper real estate and other things. And to be very honest, even to, some of the film industries also. And you can choose your own location of work. See, I had sort of a constraint that I wanted to be in Chennai. So because of the constraint, I decided I will not go outside and better I will make my own business here. So if you want to have, choose your own location, you can choose and then start being there. And who are all can be the entrepreneurship? Who is willing to take a risk in the professional career? If you want to be, like 9-to-5 work person, you can go for a job. But if you are willing to take a risk, you can choose your own professional career. Who wants to be independent and who can overcome the challenges? And sometimes, the family circumstances, like for some ladies, the husband will be working in one place, you'll be getting a job in another place, you want to be staying with your family or the spouse, then you can, whoever is having a better or, a good company job, to that place, you can go and start your business. And you will also have some flexible timings in when you're on your own. You don't have to really worry about, I must get up in the morning, go early. You can be a little bit relaxed and you have some flexibility in this thing. And you can, whoever is having adequate financial support from the parents, yes, you can try to start on your own. And the next one point is, if you are not academically brilliant, to get placed in corporates, to go for a higher educations or in MNCs, you do not want to work in small average companies, then better you can think of to be on your own. And what are the type of entrepreneurships or in civil engineering you can do? You can do for consultancy, you can do for contracts, you can do trading, as Dr. Rajan was saying, and there are some specialized jobs also which you can do. Like consultancy means you can do design and drawing or project management. You can do quantity survey or structural consultancy. These are all the consultancies you can to start with, take some small jobs initially. After a couple of years, you can, enhance your capacity. And contracts, as Dr. Rajendran was saying, this flooring contract, specialized epoxy flooring, VDA vacuum dewatering flooring, this is becoming the order of the day. And you can do some good shuttering contractors. Some major companies, they outsource the entire shuttering to outsiders. You can have some good carpenters and then, do a proper shuttering jobs. Plumbing and sanitary for these so-called high-rise buildings or big industries, it is a highly specialized requirements. IT buildings, you can specialize with good plumbers and sanitary, a good team, then you can get some major contracts in the plumbing and sanitary. Painting, again, painting is a specialized subject. You have some good quality workman working with you. Take some painting contracts, start with on a small scale and then go on, increasing your things. Earthwork, as I was saying, like JCBs and couple of trucks, if you can hire, do some major earthwork in projects, that is also is a profitable venture. Water retaining structures, that is one of the areas which I specialized in. As you know, there are certain structures which have to be watertight, which has to be having corrosions, effluents. You can specialize in those areas, and then you don't have to be ambitious that I have to do pros and cons to start with. Start with, you do small jobs and then go on adding to that. And there are certain specialized jobs which you can also think of, like a professional surveyor. I know a couple of big survey companies here. 20 years back, we were all supporting them. They were doing, with small theodolite and leveling instrument surveys. Now they become very big professional surveyors. Valuation of properties. See, most of the banks, for giving the loans and other things for this housing, they are looking for a qualified civil engineer to value the property. So all that you need is to register with the institution of valuers, and then, you can be a proper valuer. And fabrication, some of the specialized fabrications like gates and other things you can do. Today, with a lot of high-rise buildings are coming. modular kitchen is again a very big concept is coming. It is going to cost about roughly 3 to 4 lakhs of rupees for a small flat. Then, there is a big money in that. You can specialize, tie up with agencies and get the job done. Soil testing is another one area, people, I know FS engineers, Geotech, Nagadi consultant, a lot of big companies are there, and a lot of individual soil testing agencies are also there. In fact, as per the latest CMDA rules and regulations, in any projects which you are going to execute, you need to associate with your soil specialist right from the beginning. He has to sign till the project is completed. So these are all the areas where we can do that. And still, if you feel I'm not really sound technically, I'm not having aptitude, you can hire some big concrete machines, vibrators and construction tools. You can invest on that and then hire it. There are people who are making big money on the hiring of the equipment. Then another one area is real estate buying and selling. See, if somebody wants to sell an apartment for about say 50 lakhs, if you are going to identify the prospective buyers, about 1 to 2% is paid as that. So this real estate buying and selling, like people like Honorary Realty, they are making very big money now. And another one area is on the maintenance of the contracts. See, like big apartments, gated communities, every day they are looking for some plumber, electrical assistants, etc. I know a couple of my own friends, engineers, who have got some companies which has got some basic plumbers, electricians, carpenters, and other people. They undertake the maintenance of these gated communities, high-rise apartments, or these IT buildings on an AMC basis, and are making good money. And as Dr. Rajendran was saying, trading of construction materials, like big companies, that flooring materials, painting companies, steel, cement, or nowadays ready-made doors. All these construction products, you can take up the agency in your area. If you are going to be, let me say, in areas like Coimbatore or Trichy or Madurai or even in a tier 2 cities, take up the agencies and then distribute, you'll be able to make some good money. So where is the finance for all these things? Nowadays, banks are really helping for the young entrepreneurs, sufficient money on a reasonable interest basis. And you can also look for your family and friends, who have some financial resources, and whatever profit you make, you can share a portion of profit with them. Then you'll be able to get the finance for the business. And returns is one, but can expect definitely an income much better than the salary type. You'll be, if you are successful, if you are honest, if you are sincere, you'll be definitely able to make more money than what you are otherwise getting it from a routine salary job. And you will have your own sufficient time to spend with your family for vacations, etc. And society also, you will get a reasonable good status. So I would like to say qualified civil engineers can take up entrepreneurship in various fields as discussed above, instead of going for 9 to 5 salary job. Provide your own family and friends a good jobs and things, and definitely the return will be much in excess of what you are otherwise going to get. Okay, thank you.
Oh, okay, thank you. And I think, yes, it is the very crisply I said, you be the boss. That's the crux of being entrepreneur. And you set your own rules. That's what, when you are the boss, that advantage you have. So please think it over also as one career option, especially my dear civil engineers. So let's go to question and answer session. As Dr. Mutharan said, the questions will be put on his screen one by one, and we'll take it up as who is there. So first question comes there is TANSET exam. Ma'am, can you please explain the TANSET exam in a detailed way? Very briefly. That detailed way is not necessary, but you can just say what it is, when it is conducted, and where and all it is being going to be used for. Yes, Dr. Jaya.
Can I, sir?
Yeah, please.
A TANSET exam call for will come in the newspapers by February, March and all. And the people who are scoring the minimum requirement of marks around more than 65% is always eligible. 55% is always eligible. The examination will be conducting by the examination center of Anna University, and different faculty wise the exam will be conducted. The ranking will be put up with the marks of all people together. Maybe computer science people may be rank 1 and civil engineering person will be rank 2, like that. Based on the ranking, you can fix up your course across Tamil Nadu. Any colleges comes under Anna University.
This year's thing already over, and then marks
Yeah,
also
it's
been sent
already. It's already over. TANCET
Yeah,
exam has completed by April first week or March last.
We are only waiting for TANCA, that is the Tamil Nadu Common Admission.
Yes.
For that only we are waiting now. And the next question, hello, what is the criteria to get admission in top university in the foreign countries like Stanford, Rice, Imperial College of London, etc.? You listed all those big colleges.
Yeah. Actually, you have to get GRE score as well as TOEFL, IELTS. Depends upon the TOEFL is for US countries, IELTS for all European countries. And other than GRE and TOEFL, if you will be able to get in touch with the professors there in the colleges and checking with what are the projects available with them, it will help you a lot. Because if some recommendation is from such professors to their own colleges, will add additional benefit on your application. That will be an added advantage for you. You can search through all these colleges and find out an appropriate professor with whom you can do the pursue for higher studies. That person can help a lot. That is the
especially
score.
Yeah, especially in the third year itself, the trick is that, you know, you can just browse through the various universities where you would like to apply and then see in which area people are working. And you also, based on your area, you just try to make a contact. That's easy. Many times the people are willing to talk to you and give you some advice and all that. So that makes the familiarity. Later, when you are applying or when you want to go to the university, then naturally they will know, oh, this X and Y has talked to us and he was interested in that particular area, and why don't we help him? So
and
this
one
kind of
more
thinking.
thing,
I think many of the bigger institution guys are doing that. Our institution people don't do that. I think they should do that. Yes, Jaya?
And one more thing is there is an opportunity for pursuing your intern there. After the 6th semester, you can pursue your internship in any of these universities with fellowship. From my personal experience only, I'm telling, you can search for the possibilities in these universities. If they are offering minimum $1,000 per month, you will get to pursue your internship itself after 6th semester. And
universities also, you got top rank universities and extra type of universities, etc. You don't look only for the top universities because it may be sometimes tougher. There are universities which are good, but they not be so top, but they do a very good research also. You can also get a good exposure there. So those universities also you must try. I think that is the way you should try to.
So to add on, as a candidate, when you apply, how you write your statement of purpose. SOP play a very vital role. If you have a very clear roadmap, if you can able to write a fantastic statement of purpose, then if you got a funding from a funding agencies, for European Union like Erasmus Mundus or something like that, then your probability of getting an admission in the universities will be much higher, apart from scoring with the GRE, TOEFL, and IELTS.
And RECO also, recommendation letter from your HODs and the people who are teaching you, it's has a very good added value. And when you are doing or pursuing a UG program, keep a very good rapport with your professors to get a good RECO letter.
Next question is on what are the best institutions? What are the best institutions to pursue structural engineering on soil mechanics with a good TANCET score?
I'll say online.
But anyway, we'll have to see. You cannot pinpoint one or two university colleges specifically now. But indirectly, we can just say how to locate. Yeah, Jaya, you're taking it.
To me, sir, okay, sir. You can also give a feedback, sir. Soil mechanics, I'll tell you, soil mechanics, now when you look at the PhD scholars, when you look at the numbers, yesterday I was searching through my scholars, out of 100, mostly around 60 to 65 people may be pursuing in the area of structural engineering. Actually, there is a lot. Many people are there in structural engineering. Now it's time to diversify your
Search.
vision towards practicing civil engineering. There is very big lack of good soil mechanics people. Geotechnical engineering course is very limited across Tamil Nadu. Very few colleges are having soil mechanics as a PG program. And there are a lot of things we can do on geotechnical engineering. Kindly think about doing other courses than civil engineering. That's my suggestion. And environmental. Recently, after this COVID issue, and our department, Environmental Engineering Center for Environmental Studies, has started a project to develop a sensor which can identify the presence of COVID in the sewage. So like that, there are a lot of opportunities other than structural engineering. Think out of box. That's my suggestion.
So for this particular question, to pursue the structural engineering or soil mechanics, it's better that you just try to see for how many years this program has been offered. You just go to their website and then try to see what are the things that they are doing. Talk to someone who have passed out from that in particular institution and then try to gauge it. And unfortunately, in our College of Engineering India, Anna University, the dance set now has no value now because we are getting full stipend from AICTE. We converted all seats to GATE. So I think people might have known that. So it's apart from this college and Anna University, there are colleges which you can easily find out and then try to apply and do that. But as you see, whichever college you study, it is up to you to shine yourself, equip yourself, you do much more work. Even whatever college you do, you try to see, you contribute a lot, you work hard a lot, and automatically you will get a good reward. So that's my advice. Next question. Is it possible to make a career in structural engineering as after only BTech, sir? Many of the consulting companies, they are not very particular about masters. So especially L&T and the Bishner. So these people, of course, they will require your high caliber of like your proven record in your BTech as far as the structural engineering subjects concerned. So that is going to be very, very important. So you can make a career in structural engineering with BTech also. But with an MTech in structures, naturally, it's going to be much more easier. That's the thing which I can answer for that. Which is the best civil engineer job in terms of salary and job satisfaction immediately after BTech? Then again, I will only say job satisfaction and salary you want. It must be only this either multinational companies or the very leading consulting companies, contracting companies, which are in the giants in their own area. As Jaya, is it correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, sir. Another
Salary
thing.
is a big question.
Yeah, I think
another thing.
Kalai can answer.
Yeah, sir. Another thing, as a youngster, my sincere advice is one thing you have to look at. The kind
Kalai,
of
your video should be properly adjusted because we are not able to see your full space. Okay.
Yeah. So for the youngsters, my sincere advice is at the young age when you start a career, you look for a brand of the company, brand of the organization, right? Leave the salary. See, salary is very, very important. Money is very important. I don't deny it, right? But being the youngsters, apart from money, apart from the salary, what other things you have to look at it, the kind of organization you are going to join, the kind of reputation they enjoy in the society, how long they are in existence, what kind of job opportunity they provide you when you join the organization. These are all some of the areas and parameters in which you should look at, then plus the salary. So don't put salary first and the job satisfaction as the next. First is as a youngster, you should have a complete job satisfaction and the learning, then the salary will follow you automatically. I know people who started their career in civil engineering, hardcore civil engineering, as well as in the IT with a high pay package. At some point of time, if you look at the graph, after 15 years or 20 years, the salary compensation, what the civil engineer is getting, the same compensation will be cleared by an IT person who did an IT profession. So, some point of time, the salary and compensation will match as long as they grow in the organization. I know still there are a few structural engineers, even Professor Shantakumar, I can quote, the kind of consultancy he provides, it is amazing, right? So the opportunity is unlimited. So first initial stage as a youngsters, you should dwell upon the job satisfaction, the kind of job you are going to get in, the kind of organization you are going to get in, the kind of skill set what you are going to learn within organization is all that matters. That alone will drive your salary in the years to come.
My sincere advice is be ready to work hard, please.
Of course. Work hard and learn. Yes. Work hard and learn a lot.
Yeah.
Always Lakshmi will follow Saraswati.
That's right. Next question, please. Apart from civil engineering degree, what are the certifications to develop these skills, not for a certificate? The present industry looking for in freshers to step ahead in future competitions.
KALAISELVAN sir.
Yeah, I'll do that. Friends, there are 3 different areas in which you can do a value-added course. One is the design related, second is the domain specific related, third is the project related, project evaluation or project management related. When I say the design related, there are a lot of softwares are available. Try to learn one. If you want to be in a design related area, in this, especially of the civil engineering. So for example, to quote a few, Start Pro or FEM package or Revit architecture or a course on interior detailing. So these are all some of the areas in which, and many organizations nowadays, all these design related companies, they offer their software at free of cost to learn. My suggestion is you can Google it, find out, right, which are very famous, the design related courses available for the market. Do a course through an online. You need not to go to an institution, pay some money and do it. So there are a lot of free online courses are available. There are some foreign universities offer. There are some organizations like Udacity, Coursera, NPTEL, Swayam. There are a lot of portals are available. Learning portals are available. You can learn and you can do it, right? And then this domain specific related. Say for example, there are institutions and the universities offering short-term courses on water treatment, or a course on drip irrigation, right? And course on wastewater management, course on environmental, course on material testing, those kind of areas. And there are certain institutions which offer project management related courses and project evaluation related courses. So you can do as per your choice and your interest. So it's always best if you have 1 or 2 value-added courses in your profile. When you go for a job market, always you will have an edge over the other candidates. So use that's what even Professor Shekhar has also mentioned. See, the lifelong learning is very, very important. Learning is forever, right? So you should not leave the learning. If you have an ambition towards the lifelong learning, friends, I'm telling you, you will have a fantastic career path and career growth prospects.
Yeah, that's right. The CAD software and management, project management softwares are the ones which will equip you more and which will strengthen you more also. Next one. What society or industry? Next one.
That I covered already. Start Pro, FEM package, so on and so forth. If you want to join an IT industry, then obviously you should have one programming language. So I think he's interested on civil engineering related software courses. So do any course as I mentioned earlier. So definitely you will have a great opportunity.
This we have covered. Go to the next question. What are the value-added courses and where will it be available? That you already, Kalai has said that they are available online also. And there are a lot of agencies which also run their programs, which you can approach and then try to do it. Jaya, you can take what type of projects in our UG program will give value addition to your resume?
Yeah, the end product should be usable by the public or society. That's what I can say. And for that, you should disseminate that what is the outcome of that UG project in the form of a publishing paper in a good journal or some magazine or something like that. The project should project, the outcome of the project should project the usefulness to the public. Like that, you have to take a project. And we should not constrain within in this specialization or that specialization, which is the need of the hour, you take a project like that. That is my
Rajendran actually has been helping some of my students.
Yeah,
So
sir, to add
Rajendran
on,
will be having a lot of things, ideas to be told to the students. But anyway, be brief in giving a few.
yeah, sir, to add on, always if you do a project sponsored by an industry, you will have an advantage.
That they have to get Kalai. That is not, it's answered fine, but that is not, I don't guarantee. So Rajendran sir.
Sir, I would say that they should be prepared to do the project which the industry is looking for. For example, in our own lab, if you want to do something, if they're willing to come, the resources will be given from our side. So they don't have to spend money, but they can work on this and they can also think. But otherwise, when they come with a particular mindset, this is a project I want to do, then there it becomes a problem.
Now, I have to add one more thing. Recently, DRDO has given us around 15 fellowships to Anna University. All throughout India, they are giving 500 fellowship to pursue PhD program. And what they want actually, these scholars should do the research on what is the requirement from DRDO side.
Yeah, that is
correct.
And there will be a supervisor from these institutes like IIT or Anna University, and there will be a joint supervisor from DRDO. They will get the students what is the requirement from their side. Likewise, if companies like L&T or Saipem or whoever be the company, what is their requirement? If they can support the students, yes, of course, that's the best solution.
Next.
Many of my students have done similar way.
While I think Ravichandran, you are going to take it because it's a very, very tricky question. While entrepreneurship is a great idea, but mostly in civil field, there are politicians and mafia role in market in many cases. How to enter in that case, also how to handle the big level of corruption that is already existing in different levels. This is, of course, sadly, I think this is the thinking of many of our students, and it's a curse on us that this kind of thinking has come to the students' level itself now. But I think Ravi, you should.
Yeah, but big level of corruption. See, I would put it like this. See, to be very honest, about 33 years back when I was working in a public sector undertaking, even in those days also, there was corruption both above me and below me. But, in order to escape from those, malpractice, etc., I came out of that and then I started. Now, it has become part and parcel of, I would call it as a business expenditure. But it is there in some areas, but there are a lot of, see, I'm not doing any government contracts or government projects. I'm doing more of all my projects or all my business is for private sector and individuals, where absolutely there is no corruption or nothing. I'm quite comfortable. So it is up to you when you do the business, and if you are going to do with certain government contracts, then you need to carry on with all these business expenditures. But otherwise, if you are not comfortable, there are umpteen places where you do with other big private companies like L&T or other companies or individual contracts, where you can do away with all these corruption or other malpractices.
And this is not going to be a permanent picture, my dear students. Please understand. This is a passing phase. You can always say it is all up to the youngsters and the people who are coming to stand against this corruption or whatever it is, and it is easy to get away with it. And the people, the gentle people, maybe today they are the victims of this, but it is not going to be there forever. And there are always agencies which will give you work without leading to corruption. So we can always cater to those agencies also. Next one. What are the criteria to select project? I just finished already.